Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. So today, of course, I figured I would talk about something that's fairly low budget, and yes, again, something from the long ago, something retro. And yes, of course, why the hell not? I mean, I might as well, I suppose. And yes, of course, it's gonna be another TV show I'll be talking about, and it's Japanese in its entirely, of course. So I just figured to talk about this because why not? I know I've already spoken about Ultraman in one of my previous videos, and yeah, this I've already reviewed the Japanese version on DVD already. So I'm revisiting this specific season. It's series two, by the way, and yeah, it's going to be in Blu-ray. This is the one I'm talking about, folks. Ultraman season two in Blu-ray. So like I said, I previously already went to this series, this one specifically, I mean, but that was only because, like I was saying, I had the DVD copy a while back, which I got rid of, just so I can buy the Blu-ray version eventually. And the way I bought it is that I wasn't even looking for it. I just randomly stumbled upon this DVD set when ever since I went to this like Mexican type store that has like a restaurant right inside of it, and there was like a stack of DVDs where I found this. So I'm like, okay, that's like a weird little history for you folks, I guess, and how I came across this, of course. Yeah. It was randomly stumbled upon to it. I was we just got hungry and we just buy a few things while we're at it. Of course, I just stumbled across this. So it was stupid cheap. It was only about what $6. It was barely under $10 with tax and everything. So I watched it. I liked it. I did a review on it a while back. I'm guessing that they just wanted to get rid of it because even though the value itself of the discs or whatever is higher than that, I guess they just want to get rid of it, I suppose. And when we returned to it, that place, it didn't sell DVDs anymore. So there's that, I guess. It's a nick of time. So yes, I eventually bought this version, of course, of the same thing, but it's just this version, of course. I just decided to give it a review. So here we go. As always, start with the plot, of course. And yes, there's going to be a group of human characters that's going to be working in this organization, of course, and they will have their own headquarters, of course. And yes, obviously, they want to have a protector, and it's Ultraman himself. He's like this alien kind of character, of course. And yes, obviously, he was going to do his thing. He has to fight these monsters, these alien kind of creatures, of course, because that's his job. He's supposed to be a protector, even though he's not from his Earth. But he wants to be the light for justice, obviously. And there's going to be various monsters in which he will fight off through the episodes, of course. And yes, they're going to create some amount of destruction. They're going to be fighting. They're going to have their own abilities, their own strengths, of course. I know, as they should, obviously, to make it more exciting, I suppose. And yes, obviously, Ultraman himself is going to have his own abilities, obviously. So there's that, of course. And he pretty much enters Earth in the pursuit to pretty much fight these creatures off, obviously, because these monsters, they're up to no good, or as they would call them, kaiju monsters, which would be up to no good, obviously. And he pretty much has to teach them a lesson because these kaiju monsters pretty much have to be defeated because they're causing a havoc. Of course, and of course, good thing that Archman himself is pretty strong, and he's on the humanity's side, pretty much the defender, concerning the fact that he's this like a superhero type thing, as you can tell, folks. So there's like a Japanese superhero type of thing, like their own version of it. Of course, have a moral code and whatnot, and all that jazz. So he's trying to do the good deed, obviously. And even though he might not get all the praise, he might not get any rewards out of it, but knowing that people are saved, knowing that this is a decent thing to do, it's a nice thing to do. It must be done, of course. Obviously, you wouldn't get a good amount of destruction and whatnot, as these characters will just fight, of course. That's part of the charm when it comes to this kinds of stuff. Seeing the monsters fighting each other and whatnot, and these big old battles. It's like it became like a daily routine, of course. Well, I have to make it exciting some kind of way, right? And I have to say yes, absolutely. And that's what they're trying to do here, make it seem exciting, of course. And it's basically just go through this kind of a thing, these situations with the characters. Yeah, these characters are supposed to be this type of international research and defense agency that protects the world from these various monsters and aliens in all shapes and sizes, of course. But someone has to do it. Someone has to take care of this madness, this craziness that would happen throughout this series of episodes, of course. And yes, of course, each individual episode could have its own story, obviously, but in the grand scheme of things, all of this is connected, of course. And yeah, of course, I'm gonna be talking about this because of the fact that I don't talk about TV shows that often, not really, but still, I would say I will review this version. It's in Blu-ray, of course, high definition, and this collection was released by this company. Yes, this company again. I keep bringing up in these videos, of course. And they are known for releasing this kind of stuff. It's not exclusively just this, obviously, for those who don't know, but they are known for releasing this kind of stuff. It's in good quality. I like it. The fact it's in this red seal kind of a thing box. And it looks like a see-through thing right here, folks. It looks like a slip in here, folks. I like that. And the cover design is mostly red, obviously. So there was that. I like the design of the box set here. It's nice right here. The way it's shaped and whatnot, of course. There's like 6 discs in total. And yes, again, it's in Japanese, obviously. And that's the way to prefer it, really. To keep it like that in its original form. If that's how it's supposed to be, then that's how it's supposed to be. Don't try to alter it or anything. Because I hate it when people do that. Don't alter this stuff, of course. And I would say it comes in this red casing steel thing, of course. It's pretty nifty in its own little way. And I like that. I like the fact that it's supposed to be like nice kind of way, of course. And there's a design on it as well, of course. And I like this. There's this little seal thing like I was saying a moment ago. It kind of gets protected from being dirty, I suppose. So yeah, I kept it like that, obviously. So there you go. Oh, definitely. Again, this is series 2, and there's a little book right here. You can look through. It gives a little detailed description of the episodes, each individual one, and what they went through, I suppose. So that was nice to put together, or add, obviously. But it's something they had to put together, and it was really popular. And yes, of course, this were the same people who were, of course, known for making this kind of stuff. They made the Godzilla films themselves, so obviously they'll be making this kind of same kind of thing here. And why not? Might as well, obviously. I mean, it was a popular. This was kind of a popular thing way back in the day. So obviously, people want more of it. Of course, they would, which is fine. So it's no different than having lots of trends these days. The superhero thing is pretty popular these days. So of course, a lot of people want to just make as many as they could, make as much money as they could, as quick as possible. So yeah, of course, a lot of people want to get this kind of thing and just produce it, like mass produce it, of course. That's fine in some ways, I suppose. Being in this kind of industry, whether it's filmmaking or just making shows, I guess in this case, both, you're gonna have to survive some kind of way, and that's definitely true in Japan. You gotta do something. I mean, yes, it's gonna be pretty much a stressful thing. Of course, I'm pretty sure a lot of you heard that idea. Time is of the essence. Yeah, that's definitely true over there. You can't just be slacking your feet. You have to be really on your feet. You have to get, go, 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 be in such a hurry because when it comes to these TV shows, there's such a time restraint. No, there's like literally no room for slipping up. You really have to go and do your thing. Obviously, you really have to do your thing, of course. And I mean, yes, it's a job anyway, of course. And yes, of course, I put a strain of production, obviously, because there was no time, literally no time to slip up. You have to actually get going, no be interrupted or whatnot. Hopefully, there's no delays for whatever reason, because that would be just a total nightmare for this kind of thing. Obviously, man. I mean, yes, you can say the same for the Western culture up over here when it comes to making movies, obviously. But when it comes to making movies and such, It seems to be a bit more relaxed, I guess, in some ways, at least to some extent, in comparison, I suppose. But still, though. Anyway, so I just thought I would just cover this because I want to talk about more giant monster stuff, and this seemed like a good excuse to do so, even though, like I said earlier, I've already discussed it, a version of this already, of course, on a DVD, of course. So I just thought I'd just come back to this again and just talk about it because I wanted, like I was saying, just felt I had to discuss this genre in one way or another. So I just thought I would just review another version of this show, of course, on Blu-ray. The sound quality really was quite good, folks. If I have to criticize the DVD quality of it, the audio kind of dips here and there. So I do have to appreciate the fact that it's actually fixed here. The quality of the audio is definitely much better, along with the picture quality, obviously. But I just had to point that out real quick, of course. So yeah, this is definitely something I would recommend. Assuming you can find a decent price, that is. Yeah, this was not exactly super expensive like the DVD one I had right before. Which yes, I eventually got rid of it, of course. And yeah, I just did that, of course. Just wanted to get this version. Yeah, I got rid of the other one because yes, I liked it enough. But I got rid of it with the intent of getting a Blu-ray anyway. Which, like I said, I eventually did, as you're gonna see here. So yeah, a lot of it's just have been improved, of course. And yes, obviously, it gives you an idea that I want to talk about more Japanese stuff. More Japanese stuff in regards to this, even though it was a TV show. As for the special effects, I like the special effects. I mean, considering the time period it was made in, the special effects aren't too bad. Again, you have to keep in mind that the production is very limited in what they can do, of course, so to keep that in mind. But there is a sort of craftsmanship to it. Like that's what I'm pretty much want to trying to say. There is a sort of craftsmanship when it comes to the grand scheme of this in this kind of show. Obviously, the special effects aren't too bad, considering the fact that yes, it's cheaply made, but still, the fight scenes themselves, like we were saying earlier, when it comes to destruction, chaos, this would have, of course, it's pretty well choreographed. I guess you would say. I like the way the fights are choreographed, obviously. The hero or the human characters might be in danger, then Ultraman will have to come in, fight the creature for like a moment or two, wrestling or whatever. I reckon, obviously. So there's that. The choreographed fights are pretty nicely done in regards to this. I like that. I like that way they were trying to handle that, of course, in the grand scheme of things. And of course, this one was definitely broadcast in Tokyo, of course, and this was pretty popular. And yeah, the show dominated in the ratings from the very start. And of course, they try to build on the success on what they already started, but they pretty much went on and continued onward, obviously. They just had to do this series concerning the fact that this kind of a thing was already popular as it is. So yes, of course, they had to pretty much produce a ton of episodes on the cheap. So there was that. And yeah, of course, this is definitely something they wanted to construct. Obviously, this is something they had to, for the program at the time, they had to pretty much come up with some kind of exciting thing for people to watch. Obviously, this exciting big old thing with these creatures, of course, and this team of characters. These team of human characters. They're actually, for those who don't know, the human characters are actually, like I was saying earlier, actually the teammates. The human characters are teammates. They're almost co-workers in this hideout. Okay, maybe the hideout is not the right word. Maybe this headquarters. Yeah, I can say that. That seems a lot better to say. In this headquarters type area where we meet up, discuss plans, how to deal with the situation, what the situation might be, and just get this kind of thing done, of course. And it has to be done because they realize that there's a big danger kind of thing going on. There's something that's not quite right in a city or wherever it might be because these monsters are causing havoc, obviously, and these monsters can't just be left alone. They must be dealt with, of course. Yeah, but yeah, it must be dealt with, obviously, because they're causing havoc, causing a lot of destruction, and can't be left like that, obviously. It must be dealt with as fast as possible, because there's something that's not good for them, of course. Anyway, so yeah, these giant monsters threaten Japan, the border, and whatnot, so of course there has to be a good chance against these aliens. There has to be I guess a counter strike kind of a thing against you. And of course, one of the members of said team has the ability to into a thing and call upon Ultraman. Ultraman has to do his thing, of course, because these episodes are pretty much centered around with Ultraman fighting these characters, these monsters, obviously. So yeah, it's pretty much very much like a sci-fi kind of thing with superhero stuff and giant monster stuff thrown in there. So yeah, there was that. Since you're on these adventures with this character Ultraman, having these giant monster battles, of course, with his villains, with his crazy monsters, obviously. It's crazy, it's weird, obviously, it's pretty wild in its own little way. But yeah, it's not too shabby on what we're trying to do. And yes, in case anyone's wondering, yes, obviously, there's those English subtitles, in case anyone's wondering. Yes, those English subtitles, which I personally don't mind it, really. And that's the thing, though. Obviously, when something is popular, there's gonna be more of it. This is just a segment of the series I'm talking about, because, again, this is Series 2, to be more precise. Just put it out there, just for those who don't know. But ultimately, I can say that this was definitely going to be something in regards of making it super action-packed, keeping it entertaining. And that's the thing, though. At least there's plenty of fightings and destructions and all that jazz. Other stuff you might expect from this kind of genre is definitely thrown in here. And it was definitely a popular trend at the time. Clearly, they wanted to make more of it. And that's fine. There's no shame in that whatsoever. I have no issues with that, so, like, at all. I just thought I'd just cover this to talk about more TV shows, which, like I mentioned, I rarely do that anyway. And so this can be a good discussion to do that, of course. The human characters clearly want to help out. The human characters also want to help out humanity. It's not just Ultraman that want to help people. It's also the human characters. The human characters will definitely work together as a way, like, to have a partnership with teammates, because they want to remain honest, they want to remain helpful, as bizarre as a lot of these situations may be. But the teammates, whether you want to go through thick and thin and just help people out, and pretty much just want to make sure that everybody is safe, everybody in town is kept safe, of course. I mean, yes, the superhero stuff could be corny, but if it works, it works, because a lot of people do like this kind of stuff anyway. But and superhero stuff is still relevant to this very day, still bringing a lot of people to watch this stuff when it comes to superhero stuff. So it just goes to show you that the superhero genre can actually apply to the Japanese culture as well. At least their version of it anyway, so there was that. Of course, when it comes to Japan, it's gonna be like, it's a culture thing, so it's gonna be something that's uniquely Japanese, clearly, which in itself doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Obviously, it's just something they can claim for themselves, and they want to make something that could be for themselves. People from all the cultures can be appreciative of it. Obviously, it doesn't matter where the viewer came from. At the end of the day, anybody can enjoy the stuff. Of course, it don't matter. It don't matter. If you like it, you like it. It's fine. It's supposed to be entertaining, it's supposed to be exciting for whoever, obviously. Anybody can enjoy this kind of things. It doesn't have to be specifically just for a group of people, of course. You don't have to be Asian, like, at all, to watch this kind of thing. And if anybody wants to learn the language, Japanese, I mean, this is going to be definitely a good way to do it, because there's like a lot you have to sit through anyway. And yes, when it comes to learning Japanese, you have to have a lot of hours. You have to sink in a lot of hours. I do mean a lot of hours. And for the entire runtime, at least for this series, just for this specific series 2, the total runtime, if I remember correctly, is 7 hours. Yeah, that's almost your entire bedtime. When you go to bed, it's like almost 8 hours, right? Or about roughly 8 hours, yeah. And that's the total runtime for this. It's 7 hours, maybe a tad over. So there you go. It's quite a bit of time. I mean, you need more than that, obviously, to learn the language. I'm just throwing it out there. Just saying. Anywho, so this is going to be definitely a good way to, I guess, train yourself if you want to, I guess. Even though already getting some help. Watching TV shows could help. I mean, that's not the only way. You shouldn't be only relying on just that, obviously, but I'm just throwing it out there. Alright, I guess, what is this? A class all of a sudden in high school? Oh boy. Anyway. But all in all, I can definitely recommend this. It might be pretty steep to buy, but if you can find a cheaper copy of this, then definitely give this a watch, obviously, folks. Just throwing it out there. It's going to be pretty action-packed, like I was saying. And yes, of course, there's going to be quite a bit of colorful characters that will come in here. And that's fine. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, of course. And I just thought I'd just bring this up because I like this genre. I like giant monster stuff. So I just thought this would be a good way to discuss this kind of a thing where I can talk about the character design. The monsters themselves are pretty cool to look at. The monsters themselves are pretty nice to look at because it's crazy, it's weird, but they have a good design though. Other monsters that Ultraman has to fight off, they do look pretty cool in their own way. I like that. You have to get creative, I guess, even though, obviously, like I was saying before, there's the clear time restraints when it comes to this kind of a thing. But I guess you can try to power through it, of course. Get creative with character designs. And of course, again, going back to the whole hero characters, the human characters, I mean, to be more precise. Of course, you're going to have their own uniform. Of course, they're going to have their own helmet and whatnot. Of course, they're going to have their own look to them. Obviously, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that, really. I can definitely say that they're trying to do like this team, these group of characters. They're trying to protect people from the madness, obviously, because there's lots of fighting going on. Of course, I mean, in each episode, there's lots of fighting. In each episode, you have to fight somebody, of course. Well, it's supposed to be gearing to a certain type of audience anyway, when you think about it. Just like everything else. You have to know your audience, obviously. Who are you trying to make this appealing to? You do have to keep that in mind, of course, obviously. That's like the most obvious shit ever. When you write the script or whatever, you have to keep in mind who are you trying to appeal this to. You'd be surprised on how many people miss that. Yeah, boy. You'd be surprised, folks. You'd be surprised how many miss that whole obvious thing. Who are you trying to show this off to? Anyway. But yeah, there's a certain demographic of people going to be watching this who's really into this kind of a thing anyway. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You're trying to appeal to some group of people who'll be into this kind of thing. Yes, I know being called a nerd has been a form of trying to just be mean to people. Ultimately, who cares? If you like what watch someone thinks, so be it. As long as you're not hurting nobody, who gives a shit? Whatever. Because, like I said, this is like pretty much like a sci-fi kind of thing going on here, folks. And this was also a view can be as a way to view various sci-fi stuff, of course. And well, I may not be the biggest person on when it comes to sci-fi. I might not be the biggest fan of sci-fi related stuff. I just thought I'd just do this anyway, just to have like variety of content, a variety of different stuff to talk about on this channel. It seemed like a good way to do it. At least I thought so anyway. But anyway, I just thought I'd just talk about this because I like giant creature stuff. Anyway. And here we are, more giant monster stuff. Oh, definitely. That's for sure, folks. That's for sure. But all in all, that was pretty crazy. That was pretty wild in its own way. The human characters to try and discuss how to prepare for certain situations. Of course, how to prepare to take down the villain, bad people, and ultimately, will they be able to do this? Of course, there's gonna be a bit of a struggle when it comes to this kind of. Of course, there's gonna be a bit of a struggle throughout the episodes. You have to make it suspenseful some kind of way, right? Of course, you have to make it suspenseful some kind of way. That's fine, really, when you think about it. But anyway, just to wrap things up, it's definitely something that's worth a watch. Definitely, if you're one of these individuals that want to just see your teeth into more kaiju-related stuff, giant monsters, whatever, especially those from Japan, of course. This definitely came out during the, what do you call it, the heyday, I guess to be more precise, the golden age of this kind of stuff. This definitely came out during the golden age of kaiju, I guess you can call it. Yeah, this was definitely heyday back in the day, of course, way back when. Anyway, I'll give this version an overall rating of a 7.2 out of 10. It's a 7.2 out of 10 for me. As always, thanks for watching and take care. See you.